Members of the Fort Portal Municipal Development Forum inspecting a road contractor's stone quarry site to ascertain whether it conforms to NEMA environment safeguards. The MDF is led by the contractor, municipal officials and project consultant. This site visit is meant to find out why work on Nyakana and Kagoti roads in Fort Portal town is taking long to complete. By November 2015, the roads had been excavated and then left to fill up with tepid water to the annoyance of the community here. The residents, through the Municipal Development Forum, want to know when a long-time solution will be found to addressing the problem.
And the good thing is, these traders, we are with them now. So when we go, we are not going to tell them stories. We are going to talk about what they have seen. And then we move together and see what to do.
This scenario is a snippet of the participatory nature of the Environment and Social Management Program of USMID. The objective of Environment and Social Management is meant to mitigate the environmental issues like this one that arise out of USMID construction projects. Like in this case, where solutions are sought, Environment and Social Management also seeks to enhance the positive aspects of development projects. Environment and Social Management may address the following areas: AIDS and STD awareness, occupational health and safety, landscaping and greening, complaint handling, land acquisition, compensation and resettlement, labor recruitment and management, and institutional coordination. Not surprisingly, environment and social mitigation is integral to USMID construction. This is why one of the key recruitments at its commencement was to conform to the National Environment Act, Land Acquisition Act, Labour Act and others.
They're relevant because, they deal with things like making sure that before you do a project, you do environmental assessments, that you take care of the safety of the people, you take care of the livelihoods of the people, safety of the workers and so on. So I think generally speaking they are good, they are beneficial to everybody. So we try as much as possible to comply with them.
From the onset, contractors are required to display the EIA reports, and municipal authorities are also required to disseminate to all concerned stakeholders.
We encourage the municipalities to disseminate it to the lowest level possible. In the municipalities, we have community representatives in terms of Municipal Development Forum, and these had to be aware of what is going on, and they also participate in the monitoring of the implementation.
Under the capacity building program of USMID, all 14 municipalities were also required to identify gaps needed to ensure effective environment and social management. It meant that positions of environment officers and community development officers had to be filled with qualified personnel.
We have built capacity in a number of areas. Personally, I have benefited a lot. I have recently just attended a 9-month course at Uganda Management Institute in project planning and management. And in my portfolio as environment officer, I manage quite a number of projects. So I have attained a lot of skills that are, helping me manage the variety of projects.
Our officers have been retooled, because by the time I joined Entebbe, I didn't have a table, I didn't have a computer, but USMID has given me all the tools necessary, the machines, like the noise meter. We can now measure the noise. I have a computer, I have a printer, and I did have all this.
Contractors also have to ensure environment safeguards throughout the implementation of the projects. Environment and social management reports were an essential part of the contractor's bidding documents. For instance, one of the issues that had to be dealt with was the issue of dust and the other inconveniences during the construction of the road project. The contractors have had to come up with measures to mitigate this. For example, temporary walkways and access points had to be constructed for the residents to use during the construction of the roads.
People's businesses were being interrupted because the roads are being worked on. They would not get customers easily. Then you've dug drains and the like, crossing, making. So we had to provide entrances and exits. Let me call them like entrances and exits to the shops and.
Displacement of people during construction of roads was also one of the anticipated challenges. Fortunately for USMID, land ownership was not a major issue that could mean millions of shillings to pay in compensation. Taxi touts and vendors who operated in the road reserves were talked to and resettled elsewhere without having to compensate them. They were also sensitized to learn that the projects were for their benefit and the long run.
There are people to be resettled, people who are doing business at the extreme side of the road, right from town. There were people doing business around. We had to talk to these people. There were taxis wanting to park. There were people vending airtime, people having kiosks. So we had to work with these people and resettle them.
One of the environment issues we had to address is like issues to do with land acquisitions in some areas where people have been displaced. When you are widening a road or creating a road and the like, sometimes you displace people's businesses.
During the construction of the roads, great care is taken to ensure the health and safety of the workers. The workers must have safety gloves, masks to guard against dust, helmets to protect their heads, and reflective jackets while at work. Due to its impact, the HIV prevention program at all construction sites is a requirement to prevent its spread among the workers and the communities in which they work.
We also require them that the workers they are employing, they should educate them, sensitize them on HIV, which they did very well.
We are looking at the spread of HIV, AIDS. Whenever 2, 3 or more people gather together, the spreading of AIDS becomes a challenge. So we are also focusing on that.
The safety and health of the residents is also paramount during the construction of road projects. Proper signs and directions to protect residents from danger at the project sites have to be erected at various points to warn them to be cautious. Landscaping and greening. This is another critical component of environment management. Once construction of roads is complete, USMID is ensuring that the bare spaces are greened and trees are planted along the new roads in order to beautify these towns. Today, as a result, all 14 USMID beneficiary municipalities have mainstreamed environment and social management throughout project implementation. They are now developing checklists for compliance. Besides monitoring and reporting, they now have a strong institution framework for environment and social management implementation and have top management support.
The officers have become more competent to handle their schedule because they now can implement the law. The gap that we still have is for other stakeholders that are supposed to help them in doing that job. For example, the contractors need to be brought on board so that they appreciate implementing of these environmental and social issues.